I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music. Here's part 7 of our interview with Gil Moore of Triumph. Remember, the entire interview will be on our Canadian channel. If you want to get right straight to the whole thing, there'll be a link at the very top of the description of this video. As most of you know, I've talked to Rik Emmett, I think about 7, maybe 8 times in the past. We spoke with Mike Levine in the last year twice, but I've never had Gil Moore and really enjoyed talking to him. He's a real nice guy. Well, I'm not sure if I was trying to find it's on YouTube. But I think Mike had told me that when you guys were looking at Rik, that somehow there was something about Rik or his genre or I don't know, that you weren't convinced as much as he was. Is that a correct story?
I don't think that is correct. I mean, Mike plays guitar, so he has a better initial, I think, first impression of guitar players, or maybe a little bit different criteria than I would have, because I don't play guitar. So, but we were both very fired up on Rik when we first played with him. You know, I thought he was a great guitar player when I first saw him. I thought he was a great guitar player the last note we played on stage. He's still a great guitar player. In fact, I've told him many times that he plays better now than he's ever played in his life. Like, he has kept his chops up, but he's also layered on and layered on and layered on. And he's a master guitar player. He really is.
I'm not going to go through all the albums, so don't worry. But going into the first album, you know, there's that cliche people talk about. The biggest one I remember hearing, "You Can Go Gold and Ride the Bus in Canada." That was a big one because they used to syndicate a Cross Canada Report show. And I talk to all these artists and I go, wow, this is the greatest. And they kind of teach me that you can still go gold and it's not everything. But for you guys, that's another thing. For you guys, going into the first album, you have your whole life up to that point, your whole life experience, whether it's music or not, to put into that first album to get it done. I know from the documentary, you guys were worried about having enough songs, but and then you go into the second album and you've got this much time. But what was the vibe like? Were you guys just, what were you thinking going into recording that first album?
Well, the first album's pure excitement because, you know, it was so hard to get into a recording studio. There were so few of them and they were so expensive. And, you know, you had to have a record company that would pick up the tab to do it. And so you just felt like you were Alice in Wonderland, I think, when you went into that, you know, your eyes were the size of apple pies because, you know, here I am, I'm in a recording studio. This is where, you know, the big musicians are, not me. I don't deserve to be here. It's that kind of, we're not worthy kind of feeling, you know. And then you start and you hear yourself for the first time with a real recording engineer and things like that. And wow, it's a really exciting experience. The most amazing thing, though, is when that record comes out, and I remember the very, very first time I heard Triumph on the radio, and it was just like, that was a magic feeling when we were going to a gig, and I had my radio on, and I knew, you know, sooner or later I was going to hear a song, so I'd heard they were starting to play the record, and then a song came on, and I just cranked it up, and I went, wow, that's you know, I never thought I'd have a band that would be on the radio. Make sure you comment on our videos, like our videos. We love it when you do. It really helps them perform. Share them on any groups you may be part of, and subscribe to our channel. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Music.